Hello, this is Desaya. So this is something new I'm trying, but I thought I'd give myself a sort of do a little review on this game. It's not something I normally do, but like I did with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I figured I'd give my thoughts on Digimon Survive. To be honest, starting out, when I first heard this game was going to be released, I was interested, but I was hesitant. Because from what I heard from the initial reviews was that it was nothing like previous installments in the Digimon series. I remember playing Digimon Next Order. I still play Digimon Next Order. That game, I love it. The loop in it is fun. I enjoy it. I guess this time around they wanted to put a story along with it, which I don't fault them for. There's a plot in Digimon Next Order as well, but it's very drawn out, and the in-betweens of getting plot to what you're doing, it's mostly about the Tetsudachi aspect the previous Digimon games were like. Digimon Survive is taking the formula and completely trying something new. And I can respect that. But as someone who's not a fan of visual novel games, the visual novel aspect of the storytelling was an immediate turn-off for me. It almost made me not want to even begin the game because of the opening cutscenes to it. But I pushed through, and I got to its combat system. And I believe that's where this game shines the most. Digimon Survive's combat system is your classic tactical combat system, involving directional positionings and attacks and, advantages on how doing side attacks, back attacks, etc. It's akin to tactical RPGs of yore that I myself enjoyed thoroughly, such as Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy Tactics. These will remind you of those. This combat system will remind you of those in spades. Granted, there are no summons, and you're restricted to the attacks of your enemies, but I've just begun touching the cusp of this combat system. And one of its core mechanics is the ability to digivolve your Digimon to make them more powerful in battle. Now, my hope is that this is only the surface level of this combat system and that it evolves beyond this. Because while the evolution aspect is great, it needs more, in my opinion. And I'm hoping more mechanics are unlocked as I play the game. Because if this is all there is to this combat system, it's actually gonna be more. It's gonna be a big disappointment in my opinion. I haven't progressed too far into the game, but I can tell you, this is one of the best parts of it so far for me. And like I said, I hope more mechanics show up. Because this combat system is very lightweight at the moment. It's bare bones basic. So yeah. I'm not sure what else to say here. As I said, I haven't played the combat system too much. I just know what I've seen. Oh, You can add new attacks to your Digimon through certain equipables, which I suppose does add to the aspect of the combat system itself, I guess. So that is one way to change up combat, I guess. But yeah, overall, I'm really hoping that Digimon Survive surpasses my expectations. Because, as I said at the beginning of this video, I'm not a fan of visual novels. And what's going to keep me playing is this combat system, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, I love a good plot and a good story. I just don't like it told through a visual novel style. So, with that said, I know this video turned out to be a lot shorter than initially I planned. My initial idea with this was actually to use like some professional review skit, but I doubt I could even pull anything like that off. I mean, and honestly, half the people who watch these videos don't give a damn anyways, so unless I suddenly got like 500 comments on a video egging me on to do something specific, I really don't see a point there. That said, my overall thoughts on Digimon Survive are, it's not a bad game, but it's not a great game either. And I've still just begun it, so I'm hoping that it proves me wrong, introduces some revolutionary mechanic that makes the whole I'm lost for words here. Visual novel aspect of the game more engaging. Like, for example, they've got this whole free action system and morality system and stats and all that, and they say they play a big part in how you bond with other people, but I don't know. Like I said, I found myself wanting this game, but I'm hesitant to buy it. And now that it's on the PlayStation catalog, I'm glad I didn't, because I would have been severely disappointed with this. And like I said, as I said before, I don't think it's a bad game. It's just, I don't like visual novels. I never have. I've always found them to be the most lazy form of creativity imaginable. They're extremely easy to pump out and takes very little effort. That's one of the biggest reasons why I despise visual novels. Is they are a lazy form of game development. Some of them will break the mold, do something different, change up the formula a bit. But for the most part, most visual novel games are just glorified a picture or story. And don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong, that could be entertaining on its own. But these companies and these people ask for way too much for a visual novel. It's like, here we go with a couple characters, about 10 to 15 frames of lip flap animations, maybe a couple of custom animations here or there of the characters moving their hands and such, and I want $40 for this. How long is the entire game? About 15 minutes. you want $40 for a glorified picture book. And that's what visual novels are. They are glorified picture books. Because you're being told a story with pictures. And once again, as I said, that's not a bad thing. But these companies and these people want so much for so little effort. Yes, it takes time to draw. Yes, it takes time to take this to animate. I get that. But if you're going to do that, then you might as well take your talents and put it towards something more impactful than a visual novel. I mean, I don't know how to describe this. It's like if you're gonna take the time to try and animate things, like for example, in the footage I got up right now, this dude's literally got about a 5-frame animation of lip flaps going on. That's all the animation in this game in regards to the visual novel aspect. And that's usually the most you ever get. Like a good example is when he changes expressions and all that. You notice that? You notice there's a fade there? The fade's not there for novelty. It's there because they are copy and pasting static models. Well, static images, not models. Models are 3D images in a 3D environment. They're copy and pasting static images, static puppets, I should say. Static puppets that have a set of frames of animation. That's why you see the fade between them, because it's not them going. It's not for like the. It has the additional impact of a neat visual effect, but that's not it. It's just literally them taking one puppet model and putting another in its place. That is the maximum amount of effort that goes into this. Now you might be thinking, well, I'm sure it takes a lot more effort than that to put this together. If I wasn't recording this on my PlayStation, and I want to put the time and effort into it, I could pull up my Flash, my Flash editor, and show you exactly what they're doing in the background and how easy it is to copy and paste models with select frames of animation in them, especially simple flip flaps. Like, this is nothing novel that they're doing here. This is bare bones effort visual novel storytelling. And once again, that doesn't make it necessarily a bad game. But it does tell me that this game was made on a budget. A very low budget. Which tells me Bandai Namco has lost faith in their Digimon franchise. Which is sad. Because while Digimon Next Order does not have too much in regards to a plot, it is full 3D environments you're running around in. Whereas this just is visual novel fluff. it'd be one thing if I had visual novel cutscenes in combination with 3D environments to explore. That would be one thing. But no, they're giving the entire visual novel treatment here. The entire visual novel treatment. And that disappoints me so much. It really does. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's the most disappointing part.
何かあったのかも。いや、葵さんの声が届いていない人。わかった。
And I know I keep on like looping back to this, but I want to emphasize: a visual novel does not automatically make a game bad. A visual novel storytelling style does not automatically make a game bad. But it is one of the laziest forms of game development you will ever see. And sure, if someone does not have a large skill set, that might be the only way they can tell a story and make a game. Okay, that's fine. But these guys, as I point at my TV that you can't see because I don't have a camera, these guys, Bandai Namco, and the developers who were funded by them, they don't have that excuse, that luxury to say all that. No, what this boils down to is developers were asked to pump out a Digimon game, and they were handed the budget for what they were, how much they were allowed to put into it, and I guarantee you somebody in the development team went, "That's it? That's all we get?" At which point the entire development team went, "I'm not putting the maximum effort in for this kind of a paycheck." And the rest of the team agreed. And that's why you got what you got. Because they were paid so little, they took the laziest storytelling method possible and least amount of effort. And I guess I blame them, really. Now, now this is me assuming they got a crappy budget. If the development team got a big budget on this and simply still took the lazy route, then all I can say is what the goddamn fuck developers. But I'm assuming that the developers has some integrity to them, and simply took the lazy way out because they weren't getting paid enough for their skill levels. Either that, or scenario C, Bandai Namco handed it off to a development studio that had very little experience in 3D game development, but maybe it excelled in visual novel storytelling, and that's why we got this. I have no other explanation beyond that, to be quite frank. That said, because of my little ramble and tangent, this went on a lot longer than I thought it would. But regardless, I don't find Digimon Survive to be that bad of a game. I just dislike visual novels because they're extremely lazy. But then again, I've just begun. So, for all I know, things could drastically change and get 10 times better, or remain the same, or get worse. So, I'll just have to continue to play and find out. That said, I'll catch you all later. This is Saya, signing out.